This is Midday Live, and I start with our first headline story, which has to do with the voter registration exercise. And the 10-day voter exercise for the first time potential voters is underway across the country. At least 3,000 registration centers have been mounted for the exercise, which is scheduled to end on Sunday, May 8th. It is the first exercise of the Electoral Commission of Ghana in preparation for the 2016 elections. Chairperson of the commission, Charlotte Osei, has already assured of the EC's preparations for the exercise. So focusing on this very subject, the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO, has deployed 250 observers for the limited registration exercise, which is currently ongoing nationwide. CODEO observers deployed in all the 216 districts across the country will observe both the first and second phases of the exercise. According to CODEO, the observers will observe proceedings at registration centers, including the opening of the centers, the availability of registration materials and the functioning of equipment, the conduct of election officials, compliance to registration rules and procedures as captured in the constitutional instrument CI 91, and turnout for the exercise. Now I do have Albert Kofi, who is the national coordinator of the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO. Good afternoon, Albert, and thanks for your time.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to your viewers as well.
Now, CODEO has deployed 250 observers. What was the initial reports on the start of the exercise and turnout so far, especially today?
Yes, unfortunately, we will not be able to get you the views of all the observers that we asked to go and observe at the various registration centers. The reason being that we want to get all the views of the people we sent outside. And then in the course of the day, probably around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock there, we give you a summary of all that is happening. But from the bird's eye view, you know, the information that we have around the regions is that it's been very slow, turnout is quite low. Nobody knows whether it's because maybe it's the first day. But the other explanation could also be the fact that publicity has not gone down very well. People still are not sure of what is happening in some communities. And I'm sure at the time we come out, we'll be able to give you a very good picture of what is going on seriously around the whole of the country. For now, the news that has been trickling in, you know, is that the turnout is very low. In some cases, around 9 o'clock this morning, when people went there to watch what is going on, sometimes they had not registered anybody at all. Or in other cases, there were maybe 1 or 2 people just that have just come. So that tells you that maybe we need to beef up publicity on this particular program.
Now, like you touched on publicity, we've had some political scientists and also some other analysts who've also raised or shared that same concern with you regarding publicity. But is it just the role of the EC, or political parties also have a specific role to play when it comes to educating people to go for this very exercise?
That is very true. Very precisely what I was even going to come to. There's a need for the political parties also to go and ginger the people up. They should also be educating their people on the need for them to come out to register, because ultimately they are going to benefit from this exercise. So it's not only the Electoral Commission, the parties, it is also incumbent on the party to go out there and use whatever means they can to get their people informed so that they can come and also exercise their democratic rights.
Now, there are other thoughts being shared by some other persons that not just, yes, it's an exercise which is ongoing, but some other people might not benefit from this exercise, which includes students in senior high school who are writing their exams. And some have suggested that the EC should put in place some other measures so that they can also participate in this very activity. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think it would be a very good idea, because not even the secondary schools actually, but even the universities. A lot of them are writing the exams. But I'm sure the commission put in place measures. For example, in some of these universities, they have polling stations cited. Definitely, they will have to find time, just about 10 minutes, 20 minutes to go and register. They will have to do that. But even then, there has to be a special arrangement, a special education to them, so that they can know. Maybe because they are even writing exam, they don't even know what is going on. So there will be the need for a special undertaking, a special exercise to, sensitize them. Not only the secondary schools, but even the universities, so that they can all take part in this exercise.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. I have been speaking with the coordinator, that's Albert Kofi Ahing. He is a national coordinator for CODEO on the EC's exercise. And this afternoon, what do you think? We're still sticking to the exhibition exercise?